and welcome to this video blog in which I would like to reflect with you on what are you doing, what are we doing to stimulate our awakening. And for that I would like to start just contemplating what does awakening really mean? Because what I've noticed nowadays, and actually that is not only from nowadays but historically, is that we tend to repeat what we hear, but we are not totally aware of the meaning of words or the meaning of phrases, like the phrase by Socrates, for instance, which says, "An unexamined life is not worth living." And I have this phrase in the second chapter of my book, and when I was doing some contemplations with some group of people analyzing the book, it seems that it was not taken into account, whereas I believe it's one of the most important things on the chapter. Just that phrase, "an unexamined life is not worth living," is so deep and profound, and though we can understand it superficially, we need to really dig in to understand how important it is that we become aware, we awaken to who we are, and therefore by awakening to who we are, we can actually fulfill the reason why we've become humans in this lifetime, why we came to this life. And so it is important that you find in yourself the answer, the definition of awakening. Why is it important to follow the path of awakening in this period, in this historical moment, or any, but mainly nowadays? Why is there so much movement about spirituality and about awakening? We find awakening everywhere. Why? And beyond that, what does it mean? If we need to follow a path of awakening, means that we've been asleep. Asleep from what? Because right now I am sharing this reflection with you. I can consider myself that I'm awake, I am with my eyes open, I see life outside and everything, but that's why it's important to reflect on awakening, okay? Because mainly we have been disconnected from ourselves. We in the Western world, and actually everywhere, were not taught to believe or to actually connect inwardly and ask ourselves inwardly and find the answers inwardly before manifesting what we believe about something. That's why we just repeat from generation to generation many phrases, many words, without understanding their depth. Love is one of those things, because the love most people know is the erotic love, eros love, not agape or unconditional love. Yet what we're looking for is unconditional love, because it's natural, because it's part of our DNA, our makeup, our genetic makeup. Yet what we know is based on our separation, our needs and desires, mainly our ego drives. And the ego is not the evil in this story. The ego is just a tool, an amazing tool that can help us awaken if we learn how to discern, how to differentiate between how the ego works and what our essential spiritual nature, our soul, works like. They are not the same. They function totally differently. Like ego needs rational thinking for it to manifest, for it to feel its independence from and individuality. Whereas the soul works more through abstract thinking, abstract thought, which is very different. And so, if we don't actually teach ourselves how to look inside, how to differentiate between these energies, are we ever going to know who we really are, who we truly are? Because what we know of who we are is basically what we have learned to be. And there's a major, big time difference between what we think we are and who we truly are. There's two big and, for most people, totally different energies. By our conditioning, social, worldly, family conditioning, we relate to the world based on what we've been taught. But what we've been taught not necessarily relates to our true nature. Some things probably resonate and others don't. So we need to do this work of examining ourselves. I call this a dissection. We need to dissect our psyche in order for us to really find what's been taught and it doesn't resonate with us, so we need to let it go. What we've been taught and resonates with us, and then we nurture it or we keep it. But yet, going beyond that, one thing that is struck me when I was reading and learning about the Buddha was that there was a phase that he said, well, meditation, something is not working. Something is not working even if I meditate, because when I meditate I'm in peace and I'm in awe and I feel wonderful. But when I leave meditation, when I go back to the worldly life, I go back to suffering. So something is not totally clear there. So even if you practice yoga, tai chi, qigong, even if you practice some sort of discipline or inner practice, we need to show ourselves how to go beyond and expand our horizons, expand our consciousness every time we can, more and more, because it's like we live in a small square, and within that square we do the meditation practice, we do everything, but we don't leave that small space of consciousness. So we need to break through and grow and grow and grow in consciousness until one day we are not in a container. We are free and go beyond everything. Probably when we reach nirvana or something like that, we won't be in any container. But as long as we are doing this work of expanding our consciousness and realizing how multidimensional we are and how things work in different places, we need to really give ourselves the opportunity, teach ourselves the path. You see, when we are unaware and we want to understand higher dimensions, we can't. We can speculate on higher dimensions, but we won't understand them. But when we go and expand to higher dimensions, from higher dimensions we can understand the lower perspectives, but not from the lower perspectives we cannot understand higher dimensions. We can speculate, but we won't understand them. The understanding comes from higher to lower, not from lower to higher. And so there is so much we need to give ourselves, because this is something we give ourselves. It's not gonna, we can have stimuli, like you're listening to this video, maybe you get some hints and some ideas, and then you consider those, and there you have some aha moments. So the interaction with the outside world can give us something, but it is only through what we do with the experience, through our inner process, that we can actually anchor the lessons, anchor the consciousness that can help us expand in awareness. So there was just a little reflection about what awakening really is, that I hope can give you some ideas, especially and mainly what I believe is that we need to give ourselves the opportunity to find, like an adventure, paths, ways to open up and expand our horizons. The external world is just a reflection of the things going on inside, and that's why we can see outside and reflect, but most people stay outside and they don't look inside. So what we need to do is go inside and find the pieces of the whole puzzle to understand with higher perspective why we need to awaken to know who we truly are. Thank you for listening to this video. I hope you share it with other people, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have our blog in English, which is awakening.goypaz.com. I'll upload all the videos in English in the blog with little extra comments, and you can leave your comments in this YouTube channel or in the blog as well. Thank you so much, and until the next opportunity. Bye-bye.